Hello, patrons.
Hi, guys.
Ah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays,
Happy Christmas.
Happy Winter Veil.
That's how you like it.
All of these many things. Welcome to my home, my family home, here in Swansea for this special Christmas Q&A. It's special in many ways.
Yes.
It's special, obviously, because it's in this new place, being recorded on a webcam, a nice webcam, Logitech.
It's all right.
1080p,
It's all right.
60 FPS. Could be a lot worse, couldn't it? It's paid a lot of money for this webcam back in the day.
Yeah.
It's special because we're trying out a new sound recording technique. We've got little lapel mics on right now that we bought for BlizzCon,
May have
but
just hit mine.
we didn't. It's going to take some getting used to, I think. So we're hoping this is going to sound okay. If not, you won't get this video uploaded, basically. Who knows? Who knows? The laptop is in a chair. The webcam is affixed to the top of the chair. It could all go terribly wrong. I'm sorry the angles aren't particularly great. We're sitting on a cozy sofa in my parents' house. The Christmas tree is just out of shot.
Someone might walk in the door at any moment.
It's almost certain that members of my family will walk through this room as we're doing it, and we might have to finish recording early when my auntie arrives in just under an hour. So we'll see how that works out. But we're going to try and get as many of these questions out to you, gift wrapped, as lovely presents to you. We stopped last time out at John. Who says, I know you collect and this is only 7 months old.
Oh.
At least we're in the correct year now, which is something. We're in 2018. Sorry, I haven't put like product in my hair either.
Oh no.
So it's looking a bit funny.
It's fine.
But it's chilled. I got my big Christmas jumper on at least.
Yeah.
You look lovely. You look great.
Well, I look a bit shiny with this light. So.
Also, my parents' house has very slow internet, so this might not get uploaded until like sometime in mid 2019.
Who knows?
My mother's home. This is my mother. She's not wearing a lapel mic. Sorry, look at that camera there.
Oh,
there you go. Say Happy Christmas, patrons.
Happy Christmas, patrons.
Thank you for paying for my lovely Christmas presents that I'm getting this year.
Yes, thank you for that.
Okay, excellent. Thanks, Mum.
Bye,
No,
patrons.
don't bother us because we're doing Q&A. Okay, good. John says, I know you collect Mage Tower appearances, Taliesin, but how many hidden artifact appearances do you have? I'm at 25 out of 36 and slowly grinding through them. This was written before it all finished. How many did you get?
Appearances.
Genuinely. And have you read the news today on Wowhead? You know the Krog pets.
Yes.
Okay, so there was like a mystery of how you got the Krog pet.
Right.
And someone worked out that if you were fighting Zool on Heroic and you halved out and then your group killed him, you got the book that allowed you to tame Krog pets.
Nice.
But the reason that happened was because it was a bug, because it was meant to be that you could only get the tome if you defeated Zool with a raid party made entirely of hunters.
No.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Which would be amazing,
Okay,
obviously.
that's
And obviously,
really cool.
obviously something that couldn't have happened until a little bit later on down the line.
Well, too bad. I just don't like the Krog pets.
Well, now they've changed it. So the tome is an automatic drop off of Zool on normal or heroic, which is kind of exactly. And that's the thing. And everyone's like, no,
yeah.
no.
I wouldn't have done it because, like I say, I just don't like the Krogs at all. But I like the effort that went into the original planning of
What
it.
do I have to do to get the frog pet?
The frog? I don't know what you have to do to get the frog.
Can you
pet,
find that out for me, please, Hunter Main? Because
Yes.
like my hunter is still at 110, but when I do, and the hunter is always the last one that I level, or the rogue.
Yeah.
Although I really like rogue at the moment, so it's probably going to be hunter that is last one. But I did go and race change my hunter to a female dwarf and call her Toadie.
Nice.
Because and I did that when I bought the toad mount.
Nice.
Because my plan is she's going to have a toad mount and 2 toad pets.
That's pretty good.
And her name is Toadie.
That's pretty
And
good.
she looks awesome.
Yeah.
And she'll have the dwarf heritage armor, which is already like, if you take the shoulders off, looks great for hunters.
Yeah.
It's all like really leathery and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So, but that's the thing. Okay, so like the Krog pets were this like prestige thing that would be really difficult to get. And if you saw someone with them, you'd be like, they completed like the raid with just a hunter party, and now it's just something for everyone. And like that's something that I think the reason I'm talking about it's not completely unrelated. Like that's something that the Mage Tower had. It had like this prestige thing.
Yeah.
And people will put in hours and hours and hours to get prestige things, and it keeps people playing. It kept me playing at the end of Legion.
Yeah.
It's like literally what I did.
Yeah.
Well, if I wasn't like trying to get Mage Tower, it was preparing my characters for Mage Tower.
Yeah,
You know?
I did. I mean, I hated the Mage Tower, but I also loved it in a way. And Yeah, you know, I get it. I get it. I miss having it there, and I miss seeing people's sweet, shiny weapons.
Yeah.
Even though you can still transmog them.
I got a
Although-
sweet shiny weapon for you.
Although, can I just say, speaking of artifact weapons, why can I not transmog my marksmanship hunter bows, as I'm now a beast mastery hunter? Like, I still use bows and arrows,
Yeah.
I still use guns, I can
Yeah.
still swap them. Why?
I mean,
why?
I can tell you why
No,
if you want, but I
it's
know you don't
not-
want to hear it.
No, but it's just I use literally the same types of weapons.
Yeah, it's really sad.
That breaks my heart, because the
But I mean, you still can.
marksmanship bows are, I think, the best transmog
Yeah.
like items out there.
You can still make bows into guns and vice versa,
Yeah,
but just
yeah.
not the artifact ones.
I know, but
It's a real shame. Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I know, but
Had to get that
I
off my
see why they
chest.
want to keep them spec specific for
Yeah.
the things. I know. But
whatever.
how do I? Someone let us know. How do I get the frog pets? Because I can't be bothered like spending 2 seconds looking it up. Someone's just going to have to tell me. You're going to have to tell me. Oh, how many did I get? Let's answer the question. Right. Okay. I got all 3 of the priest ones, obviously.
Nice.
But the holy priest was the only healer one I got. Because obviously Disc had a DPS challenge, and that was the first one I did.
Right.
And then I did Holy Priest, and I was like, I'm never doing the healing one again
Sure.
because it's horrible. Like it wasn't like overly difficult, but it just took so long. Like it probably took me less attempts than a lot of them, but it took me days and days and days to do it, and I was like, this is and I was massively overgeared when I did it as well.
Sorry, I'm just reading the question again. I know you collect Mage Tower appearances, but how many hidden artifact appearances do you have?
Hidden artifact.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Reading comprehension.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Oh God, I don't even know.
I
Okay,
have
so
some
the
of
thing
them.
the thing about I should have looked this up. I'm sorry. Okay, look, I'll do Mage Tower and then I go on to because I'll show off at how many Mage Towers I got first. So I got all of, and I cheesed the Shadow Priest one.
Oh yeah.
With the
Was that the twins?
yeah, I cheesed it by doing
Surrender to Madness.
the Surrender to Madness, yeah, and like just never proccing, never actually like going into void form. I just did it so I could move. And that was awesome, it was great,
Yeah,
and I just
yeah,
killed him
yeah.
one guy. Oh, it's brilliant. I got all of the mage ones. I got all of the warrior ones. I got the 2 non-healer paladin ones. I got all of the tanks, just generally, which was awesome. I got one of the rogue ones, I think, but rogue might be the only class I didn't get one on, which is a real shame. I got the 2 DPS shaman ones. I got one of the warlock ones. I got destruction warlock because that was the same as the disc challenge.
Fun.
But yeah, the other warlock ones were really hard. Because my demonology was not ready to go at all, and the affliction one was twins, and that was just impossible. I couldn't do it. I tried it a couple of times. It was like, oh no, I'm not doing this. What other classes are?
I don't know.
I got all the classes. Oh, I got all of the druid ones apart from the healer one. I got all of the hunter ones, including survival. You didn't get survival, did you?
I didn't bother.
I got all of the Death Knight ones. I got I think that's about it actually, isn't it?
Cool beans.
Have I just said all of the specs?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you have.
Yeah.
So, how many hidden artifact appearances do you
Don't
have?
know.
Now
Okay,
that,
the thing is-
now that we've addressed the
okay, so
question.
you remember the Mage Tower ones because you had to work quite hard to get them.
Yeah,
Like,
but the hidden
because you had to like
ones-
learn a new spec if you hadn't played it for a while and
Yeah.
stuff, and then you had to gear it up and you had to make sure it was like, you know, if it was an alt that you neglected for a bit. Whereas the hidden ones, you could just like
They kind of just
get
happen.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't even know if they were hidden half the
Yeah,
time.
so I think I definitely tried to get the marksman one, and then I just got the beast mastery one.
Which one was the beast mastery
It's the
one?
big like tinkery one. It's fun,
Maybe
but I
I've
would
got that.
literally never use it
I'm not
because I'm
sure.
an elf. But maybe if I had a like, you know, gnome. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they kind of just like popped up and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, what are these?
I
You
got
just
the-
gain them.
I
by
got the
playing
disc
game,
one,
right?
which was actually like one of the more interesting ones because you had to go and read books like all
Okay,
over the
that's
world.
cool.
That was really cool. And obviously that was the first one I got. So I got the disc one because that was really cool. I got the shadow one because that was a drop from something. I got again the prot druid one because that was a drop from a raid that I got. I got the balance druid one, although I can't remember how or why. I got the sheep one for mage. I got the fire one for mage because that was one of those ones where like a portal just appears randomly one day and you go in it and you're like, awesome, cool, I got it. What other? I can't remember. I'm sorry. We've spoken for about 10 minutes on this question. I can't even.
Yeah, we have.
I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry.
What a disappointment.
But I got a few. I like the. Okay. The real answer to this question is I do not have the Rep Paladin one.
Oh. Okay.
That's the thing.
Okay.
And because that one is the one with the outrageously long quest line you have to go. It involves fishing, Evertel. Seriously.
Actually, that sounds like fun.
No, exactly, and it's worth it for the appearance because it's really cool. And
that.
one day, because those are still there, you can still get those, and one day I will get them. Yeah. Because I'm all about those artifact appearances. Those ones that are there, it's good. And now I did my hippo, I've actually unlocked loads of the PvP ones without even knowing it.
Oh yeah, those I know.
Because they're account wide. So no, but every time I log on now, I've got like, and I go onto an out I haven't been on in a while, I've got like extra appearances.
Nice.
Which is awesome. And but I had already done the 10 Battlegrounds one.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry.
I did the 10 Battlegrounds one to get my pink appearance on my disc priest, which like not many people have got. Not many people have got it. It's brilliant, and people recognize me in game from that artifact. Like as much as they do my character name and everything like that. Yeah, it's really fun, and that's the thing. This prestige thing. Like I know the reason I love that appearance is because it's cool. But also because I know not many people have it. And I'm proud of myself for having it.
You should be proud.
Because I did something I wasn't very good at.
You did good.
And I did it a lot to make sure I did it right.
Cool.
So those ones I really like, and I really like unlocking them as well. Particularly the disco cat and the disco bear.
Oh yeah.
The more colours I can get on those, the better.
Those are great.
John, didn't really answer your question very well. I'm sorry.
No, but we
went around the houses.
We tried. It's Christmas. Forgive us.
How many of you got, John? If you're still a patron, if you've still got internet connection. And if we get this out before the apocalypse has happened, let us know.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Next one comes from Kabai. Can we talk about Death Knights for a bit?
Kabai, yes we can.
All right, that is a question. We answer yes. I'm basing this on Taliesin points. If Sand Lane will be a thing, they have to be able to be Death Knights. DK's got nothing from this expansion, and monks are literally everywhere. And DKs are no longer considered heroic class anyways, that's true.
That's true.
Since you can make multiple of them. Can I have your guys' thoughts on this?
By the way, what would stop the Knights of the Ebon Blade to go to Sumer right now and resurrect the dead Nightfallen? We murdered and raised Dragon Brood already. This is a very Legion-centric question. I like it.
I like
it. Well, I mean, okay, there are monks everywhere. Death Knights, though, they're just more fun than monks, aren't they? They're just cooler. They wear plate armour.
Yeah.
So that's something they got over them instantly.
I guess so.
Okay, so the Sand Lane. It has. I remember because everyone was talking about this when it turned out the Sand Lane were big in like the Alliance war campaign because they have actually genuinely joined the Horde. Spoiler for the first part of the 8.0 Alliance war campaign, you pretty much wipe out the Sand Lane. There's basically no Sand Lane anymore.
Dang.
And they're like the main baddie of the Alliance war campaign in 8.0, and you find them and you fight them and you kill their leader, and it's all very exciting. It's actually really, really good. I kind of preferred it to the Horde war campaign. And it's great, but doesn't look like Sand Lane will be a thing. It was kind of cute that they were in the Horde and it got everyone really excited, but I don't think there are any of them now. But your wider point of new classes, new races not being able to be Death Knights, it's a really good one. Like, it's outrageous, really. Like, there is no reason why Zandalari trolls and Kulturan humans, at the very least, shouldn't be Death Knights.
Why not?
Why not? They were out there. I know, like, Kulturan's all pissed off after Warcraft 2, so technically weren't involved with what the Zandalari trolls were about. They were in Northrend checking out on the, is it the Garabushi up there? I always say that wrong. Garabashi.
The other way around.
Garabushi.
Garabushi. It sounds like Gary Busey.
Yeah, like John Belushi. Gary Busey and John Belushi, part of the Garabushi trolls. That'd be awesome. And instead of having like Jamaican accents, they'd be like, hey. They'd be like these New York wise guys. It'd be awesome. Okay, right. New Allied race, guaranteed. That's what it's going to be. Yeah. So I mean, it's stupid, and I think it's just because they can't be bothered putting the customization options in for them.
I think it's
and also because they always maintain that it doesn't make sense with the Death Knight starting area.
Right. Okay.
Which is stupid.
Whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's already a bit of a weird story.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're okay with that, but they're not. They're not okay with that, but they are okay with you coming out of that storyline, going straight into Cataclysm stuff, then going back to Wrath stuff. Then yeah, exactly.
I don't buy it.
So to what I suspect your wider point here is, Cabai, definitely there should be some more options for Death Knights, because it really sucks for Death Knights. Every time these new Allied races come out, they can't play them, you know? Mm-hmm. Which is probably actually quite good for you, because I race change to Allied races all the time, and then kind of change them back again. Like, my Alliance Warlock became a Void Elf, and then went back to just being a human. My monk went to being a Dark Iron Dwarf as soon as I got them, because I was like, yeah!
You mean, yeah? Or
and now he's not... Oh, that's piratey.
Yeah, how do you say yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's like a wrestler. That's
The Rock.
Sorry. I don't think that is The Rock.
No, it's
I think you've made
the
that
only
up.
wrestler I know.
It's not the only wrestler. Hulk Hogan, you know Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, I know Hulk Hogan.
You know?
He's not really a wrestler anymore, is he?
He will always be a wrestler.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a bit of a racist. Yeah, it's fine. What was I even saying? Oh yeah, basically I changed them all back. Oh, the only one that's actually stuck is my Magat Walk.
Okay.
I love my Magat Walk.
They're really good.
Dreamed about that Magat Walk for so long.
Yeah.
So yeah. By the way, what would stop the Knights? Okay, so right, let me explain this to you. So in the Death Knight class order campaign, which was the best class order campaign in Legion, it was really, really good.
Okay.
You are making a new 4 horsemen. So you're going around raising like famous people.
Cool.
And it ends because you're trying to get Tyrion
Yeah.
raised. So you like storm the Paladin order hall to try and get him, and the Paladin is like, no effing way, get out of here, and like they push you back with the power of the light. But you still raise all like these cool like lore characters into the thing.
Freaky.
And so like we're just really into just raising people at the moment, apparently. The Death Knights, which has kind of tinges of
someone we know.
Someone we know, and as does the class mount campaign, the little quest line where you go as well and you just raise a dragon. It's really cool. But again, like, kind of singles out Death Knights as being pretty much baddies right now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which I really like. Like, I like Sylvanas being a flat out bad. I know people hate it. I love being able to play a baddie for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Like,
it's a game. I'll be the baddie. I don't care.
She's bad.
Yeah.
She like categorically does bad things.
And I would say that the Death Knights are pretty much categorically bad at the moment as well. They wanted to raise Tyrion as a Death Knight, for F's sake. Even if it was to beat the Legion. Not down with that.
No.
So yeah, exactly. There's nothing to stop. I guess Death Knights, they only care about like the very best warriors and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they only want like the really good
so,
ones to become Death Knights, because maybe it's like a massive drain on them or something like that, or maybe they just can't be bothered. Maybe they just don't think they need any like foot soldiers or whatever.
Right.
So they're just like, they could go and raise the Nightfallen and what have you, but the fact that we killed them in the first place means they're not really worth raising, probably.
Nah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But you're right. Yeah, exactly. Nightfallen could definitely be an allied race that could pick Death Knights, but then wouldn't fit with the starting thing. It's tough, Kabai. I know, I'm with you. My heart goes out to you. I'd love to see more races able to be Death Knights. What they're going to have to do, essentially, and I think what they were doing in the Legion campaign, is setting it up so with them raising Death Knights themselves, suddenly that's not a Lich King thing. So it's a way of them getting away from the starting area eventually, I think. So you don't have to like be hanging out with the Lich King and rebelling against the Lich King and stuff like that. So then I think it will probably, I think overnight one day, maybe next expansion or something, they're just going to change the Death Knight starting area and just open up Death Knight to all the other classes as well, all the other races.
Interesting.
I think that's pretty much guaranteed. But what they'll probably do is wait until all the other races, the allied races from BFA, are in place, and then just make it a feature of the next expansion. Is what I'd imagine will happen. That's quite a good prediction, actually. Yeah, I'm sticking with that.
Yeah. All right, next question comes from Jacob Werner. So, my friend and I are attempting to create a setting for a D&D style RPG. Cool. And hopefully get it published when we are done.
Maybe it's already published.
Ooh.
Maybe it's already out there because this was 7 months ago.
Let us know. We've got lots of good stuff so far, but we have been back and forth on races for a while. What are you guys' favorite fantasy races from, any fantasy setting that you know of, and why?
Well, you know what I'm going to say.
Halflings.
No, you don't know me.
Pandas?
This is like, there are people screaming at their screen because they know the correct answer right now.
Tuscar.
Thank you.
Well, I know.
It shouldn't have taken you 3 attempts to get there. We should have had this
okay.
conversation before we got married, clearly.
I know, but it's just like, I know that, but it's, I know you like them, but it's, kind of silly, right?
No, it's, okay, all right, this is like, everyone thinks it's a meme, okay, but it's clearly not a meme because, like, they would be great for, like, role-playing.
They would be cool for role-playing,
because they've got, like, this really distinct, like, separate kind of culture, which is like based very much on things we recognize, like, living around the sea and fish and that kind of like semi-tribal culture thing that they've got going on. And it's great because it gives you very distinct traditions and like a setting to draw on as you're making your character.
Yeah.
Plus you're huge and you're out of place like in the world.
And you have tusks.
Which for me is like a fun role-playing experience.
That would actually be
That's
super
why
cool.
I enjoy like role-playing as a halfling when we do D&D, is because you're out of place.
Yeah.
Like our D&D setting is like a mostly human society, and I like being other from that.
Yeah.
Like instantly.
Yeah.
Because it kind of opens you up to roleplay and stuff. And if I wasn't a halfling, I'd be like a tiefling or a dragonkin or something like that. I wouldn't be a human.
Yeah.
And Tuscar, I like genuinely some Tuscar type race, which is like ostensibly friendly and benevolent and sort of like, but can also like kick some ass when they have to, but they don't want to, sort of thing. Aww. and like has a kind of a jokiness about like, they're giant like seals, walruses, and that's automatically funny, but then it lets you undermine that and stuff, and I'm totally down with that. And like they're cooler than pandas, obviously. Partly because there's never been a movie called Kung Fu like Walrus, which has ruined them for everyone. But like, they've just got, there's something about them. They seem like kind of alien and
Yeah, I get you.
Because pandas we know for being like really lackadaisical, not like being very active and kind of, they're big, but they eat bamboo, they don't have sex. They're terrible at everything.
Yeah, they're
like basically, if it wasn't for humans, they'd have been extinct. So it's kind of hard to take them seriously as some kind of warrior race. Whereas like walruses, those things are badass. They'll kill you. Totally. So I'm not even joking when I say like a Tuscar type race would be awesome, and I'd be so up for that.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And then you have all like brilliant roleplay things where you're like trying to find clothes that fit you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Nice.
It's great.
Nice.
What about you?
Oh, any fantasy race from any fantasy setting. I mean, it depends on what setting your actual RPG is taking place in. I don't know. Like, does Animorphs count?
Well, that's like a druid thing. That's more a class thing than a kind of a...
Yeah, but like that...
No, Animorphs don't count, I don't think.
Oh, fine.
Or unless it was what do you mean something that like is a humanoid animal?
Yeah, a humanoid who can turn into an animal, but like it's not a druid.
Right.
Because you get to choose your animal, right? And it's not limited by kind of what druids can turn into, and you don't necessarily have basically.
Are you saying there's only one that you can turn into?
Yeah. You choose your animal that you turn into. Beyond that, you are a human, and you're kind of useless.
Okay.
Right, like you have no skills.
But then you turn into a mouse and suddenly you're amazing.
Yeah. But you have amazing like mouse senses and all of these. Yeah.
Okay. Like, sure. Why not? Why not? Yeah.
That's definitely not my like favorite fantasy race, but I'm like boring. I just love elves and I love drow and I love like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So something I'd love to see you implement, Jakob, into your rule set is my next D&D character. Once my halfling dies, because he definitely will.
Can't wait.
Because he just keeps like
so annoying.
He keeps running into trouble.
He's so annoying.
How's he annoying?
He's really rude.
Yeah, that's because like he's only rude to people he finds are idiots.
But he's rude to everyone else on our team.
Only when they do stupid things.
No, he's always rude.
We broke into the same house 3 times and didn't find anything either time. So yeah, at that point he was getting rude.
Well, he is traveling with like 3 teenagers.
Yeah,
so.
well, that's very true. Except one of the teenagers is like 100 years old.
But still a teenager.
Very
mentally.
True. Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, when he eventually dies, because he just starts fights and like jumps into trouble and gets on horses and rides after the big baddies who are like levels and levels ahead of them and stuff like that. My next character, I want to be like a rogue psyker. So I want. Okay, so have you played Mass Effect 2?
No, I have not.
Okay, right. So Jack in Mass Effect 2.
Yes.
Or I guess 11 from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
This idea of someone that had like immense psychic ability as a child, so was taken into like a facility, whatever the D&D version of that is, but then escaped, and so is kind of like almost feral in a way, and kind of like really sort of distrusting of all humans, but also has like this kind of uncontrollable but incredibly powerful psychic ability, so can't use it properly. So like every now and then just goes completely wrong. And I was going to ask if this ever comes into play, and our games master lets us have it, I was going to ask him like if I could, every time I try to cast a spell, if I could introduce a dice roll where there's like a really strong chance of it going wrong.
Well, that's actually how Wild Magic Sorcery works.
Well, exactly, but I'd want to adapt that because I'd want it to like more often than like not go wrong.
Stuff. Okay.
But as a kind of a counter to that, for the spells to be much more powerful. Do you know what I mean? So like, it would hardly ever do what you want it to do.
Yeah, but
it would still just destroy shit everywhere you went, which I thought would be really cool. And having like no control over that.
Yeah.
And maybe as like you leveled up and like became more friendly with the group and stuff, you could like bring the spells under control.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. That's not a race. That's a class.
I know, but that's something I would like to see Jakob like introduce. Okay. Because at the moment we're making up those rules and it's hard. Yeah. Totally. Ron Forbes says, "Hello TNE, love your channel and it's been fun watching its evolution. You are great teachers about game lore. Thank you. Now my question. In a very early Q&A, you talked about how you two met and the involvement of a third person with a tease of more details to come. We must have talked about this by now.
We would have talked about this by now. If you haven't caught it on here, check out R2T2. Where we talk through it a little bit. And we've also talked about it on stream.
Yeah, we have. But the new episode of R2T2, R2T2.
T2. Not R2D2.
We just did this like literally last week, and we talked about that third person.
Yes.
And we imagine many of you will have heard that, so we're not going to repeat it now.
No.
Just in case we have actually done it in another Q&A. It sounds like the kind of thing we would have done,
and
that you've already heard. But Ron, if you have heard it, excellent. If you haven't, check out the latest episode of R2T2. But it's outrageous.
Yes.
And his name was Zach. But not Asmongold.
No, definitely
Different
not.
Zach.
Different Zach.
It was really funny because I was telling the story on stream.
Yeah, I know, I saw.
It's really weird because like you see the amount of viewers that you've got on stream, and it's like 600 or whatever, and you think it's like this solid 600 people just sitting there listening to you tell your amazing story. But it's in constant flux.
Yeah, it's
so like when you start telling a story, and if it's over like 2 or 3 minutes long, by the time you stop telling the story, it could be almost a completely different 600 people.
And there's always someone tuning in being like, what did he just say a minute ago?
And he's like,
what is the story?
Why is he talking about Asmongold?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, different Zach. And it's like, it's so funny how like you have to keep catching yourself up on the stream. It's really weird. I like it though, it's fun, it's kind of weird. So Ron, please don't count it as a cop-out. We just don't want to repeat it again.
Exactly.
If you've heard it again, it'd be really boring. But R2T2, it's a great little podcast anyway. You should definitely check it out. Yes. Maybe we'll put a link to the video of that interview on this post when we post it to make it extra easy.
Next one, Mustafa Ali, congrats on the engagement. Your wedding day is the same day I turned 30.
I hope you had a good 30th birthday, Mustafa. We had an awesome day. It was really good. If you're in Britain, then you had good weather for it as well.
It was
super warm 30th you had. Your videos are great. Keep it up. Mustafa, thank you also for the easiest question
in
this Q&A. That was great. We're keeping that. Nick Williams says, love your videos so much. Question, who would you love to see a new Warcraft movie based around? Or alternatively, what event would you love a movie to explore? We've kind of answered this one a little bit further up, but let's recap, because we had a big chat about this.
Oh, what did I say?
I can't remember.
What did you say?
Oh, Arthas.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, but I think what we both agreed was we'd like to see a Netflix series that told the entire story properly.
That would be amazing.
And didn't have to like skip a load of
Can it be, I have an addendum, can it be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse style animation?
Ooh, okay. Would you watch that though?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Would I watch that?
Yeah, I know, but like I'd rather it kind of be like cool CGI.
Okay, so
I'd rather it be like the
CGI.
photorealistic CGI.
Yeah, photorealistic cinematic style is my number one. But if not, like a really cool animation, I would totally watch.
Yeah. Would you not feel like that was shoehorning that animation style in a little bit, whereas Spider-Verse it was kind of perfect for it?
No.
Okay.
I frankly would love to watch something in the style of like the Warbringers.
Oh, I couldn't watch like a whole movie of that though.
I could. I love that stuff. I love it.
Oh, I'm not sure because like it's perfect for sort of 5-6 minute little things.
Yeah.
But a whole movie of like
just
not really animation.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you like that because that's essentially what Style our D&D series is going to be. Yeah, I guess the obvious one would be Arthas. Except Nick Williams, you need to check out. We'll put a link to this as well. Have you seen that like remastering, that remaking? You have to watch it, and like it's a half-hour compilation of all the little bits he did, but it's basically redoing all of the story parts from Warcraft 3, i.e. like Arthas, but also like the creation of the Horde and stuff as well. And just like as a beautiful Machinima. But it uses like the original sound and voices and stuff. Because always the thing about Machinima is sometimes the voice acting isn't great. Yeah, okay, cool. Machinima. Sometimes the voice acting isn't great, is it? No. But he uses like the original.
Nice.
And it's really great. And like, what's beautiful about it is, it's kind of like one of the things I've always loved about doing Shakespeare is you have this script and you find different ways to interpret scenes and things like that. So like even just putting them in a different place with the same lines can add like completely different meaning to them and have an interesting thing about them. And that's exactly what he can do by using the same sound. He like takes the scene and instead of having like on a hill, it's suddenly in a tavern or something with people coming in and doing things like that. And it's just really super interesting. So actually, that guy, whose name I can't remember, but who we will link in this, totally has already done that.
Yeah.
And is making this incredible like movie of Thrall and the Horde and Arthas in Warcraft 3, which I guess over the years will go all the way up to. He's a Spanish guy and he does it in Spanish and English. It's awesome.
Nice.
It's so cool. So I mean that's already being done. So I guess I could actually choose something else.
Yeah.
So, like something else to follow. What else would you do?
I'd just like something themed around the Night Elves.
Yeah.
Or the Nightborn.
Okay.
Because they're cool.
Very different histories, though.
Yeah, I know. Elves.
Yeah.
Still elves.
Yeah.
I want like something to take place in Suramar.
Yeah.
With like, these like decadent magic loving elves.
Would you be up for some kind of like a prequel type thing, where you kind of go back to like pre-Warcraft 1? And sort of check out some of that stuff.
Oh yeah. I want to see the stuff that we haven't seen in game.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But obviously we haven't seen any of the future stuff in game either. So like that's why I kind of like the story carrying on. Yeah. But yeah. Okay. Maybe I'm like prequel fatigue at the moment. But when someone says prequel, I'm like, even if it's something really exciting, I can't get that excited about it.
That's fine.
I know. It's silly, isn't it? Yeah. I think. Yeah. I guess so. History of the Tuscars, maybe.
History of the Tuscars.
Yeah, they must have an awesome history.
It's like a David Attenborough.
They're clearly an ancient race.
Yeah.
I bet they've seen it all. I bet they saw it all happening.
I feel like they've been there.
Yeah. Totally. Clayton, friend of the channel, Clayton Clark, says, question, how did you get into H.P. Lovecraft? For me, it was my freshman year in college. Herbert West, Reanimator, was the first story I ever read of his. I used to walk by medical school on my way to my car every evening after night classes. The building was built in 1918. It had stone stairs with marble columns leading to the main doors. All the classroom lights were out except for a light on the 3rd floor. You could see people moving around. After I read the story, I started taking a different route.
That's lovely.
That is awesome. for me, it was weird actually, because I'm not sure there was ever a moment where you get into Lovecraft, because he's so kind of ubiquitous in like modern culture, isn't he? Like pretty much everything in geekdom, really, and
kind of like
beyond.
Dark horror fantasy.
Yeah, is totally kind of draws from that. So like, maybe your first Lovecraft experience was playing Dark Souls, or like Darkest Dungeon, or you know, just watching some movie that was clearly heavily drawing from that universe or something. And in fact, books-wise, I got into it via audiobooks. I had these audiobooks where this old dude was like reading them, which in hindsight wasn't a very good way of experiencing them at all. It's kind of bad, because like I feel like a lot of the Lovecraftian horror comes out in your own voice, like when you're reading it and just imagining the things by yourselves, and even someone putting emphasis on certain words over other words when they're doing a really good job sort of doing the audiobook can kind of spoil that a little bit.
Totally.
So yeah, and I feel like I'm not sure if I would get into Lovecraft now, because it's really weird. I don't think he's a very good writer when it comes down to it. Like the kind of ideas he plays with, of like these super huge forces that we can't even understand, and our complete insignificance, and how we don't even know what's going on.
That stuff is good.
Yeah, that stuff is like terrifying and scary.
Stuff.
But I feel it's like me that scares myself as much with that as kind of the text.
Well, I feel like when I read his stuff, it's like I'm reading this artifact from a very different time, and
which is kind of fitting.
And it's like, and it's like, and it's very mannered, you know, and it's like his style is a very like particular, probably something I wouldn't normally read. But yeah, it's the ideas that you kind of pick up from these stories that are the scary things. Kind of like you, Clayton, walking by, you know, the medical school building and, you know, projecting that onto that. So yeah.
Call of Cthulhu is still like the most terrifying thing I've ever read. Like, it's just outrageously scary.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really, I mean, nothing really happens in it, to be honest. I mean, that's actually a really stupid thing to say. Loads happens in it. But, you know, there's so much which is left kind of unknown and unknowable about it. And, yeah, terrifying. And yet whenever I see someone else's like depictions of like the island and of Cthulhu and of the other events that happen in that, I'm always super disappointed, because it doesn't fit how I saw it. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the books are still like the best way to experience it. But then so many of people have taken his ideas and kind of gone further with them, and a lot of the time I think I'm thinking about a Lovecraft thing when actually I'm thinking of someone else's version of a Lovecraft thing. So it's really weird. But yeah, like I will always dip back into Call of Cthulhu and stuff like that. But yeah, it's I'm not sure if I would describe myself as being a huge Lovecraft reader anymore.
No, not really.
It's not like he's producing new work, is it?
Well, no.
And also because I know there's so much like extended mythos out there, I kind of don't want to read that, because like for me the scary thing is how little I know, and these little glimpses you get of stuff like that. So whereas I've read all the Lovecraft stuff, I don't necessarily ever want to read like people's additions to the canon and to the mythos, even though like I hear there's some really good stuff. But I don't want anything explained. I want it to be all still hope that kind of answers your question, Clayton. If not, just send us an email.
Next one, Ethan Fosbury. Hey Tally, hey Evitel. Hope you're both doing well. So my question to you both is, are there any tier sets that you would like to see remastered, similar to Black Temple's sets and the Tomb of Songaris? Even if it makes no sense lore-wise and all that. Well, is there any sets you'd like to think need a remaster?
Yeah, let's systematically go back and remaster all of those old tier sets, please.
I would love to see all the old stuff. I have to say my favourite transmog is just like grinding out old dungeons and raids and picking that stuff up because it's cool.
Yeah, especially the plate sets, because I think like what you can do now with having like 3D belts and like assets on like the pants and stuff and the gloves and shit, like any of those, let's do it. Let's do the banana set. That's what I'll put at number 1.
Yeah, and just make it actually gold and
like,
shiny.
Yeah, like actually metallic gold as well.
That would be amazing.
Because it would be like completely conceptually different enough from the original banana set that it'd be worth having.
Yeah, or can you imagine like the Encourage crazy just bugs and insects?
And it'll be bone and carapacey and sort of. Well, it'd be quite like the new Atal d'Azur sets, the Battle of
but not so
Dazar
much
Law,
bone.
sorry.
More But like, you know, like, yeah, like, you know, insect wings and kind of that like iridescent blue green thing. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah,
I think that would
really
make
cool
those
too.
really horrible garish colours really work.
And would they have like kind of creaky movements on them like you get on some of those sets?
Yes.
Okay, so you go for those.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for
I
banana
would
set.
love those.
The banana set is what I want. Oh, I'd love the tier 1 priest set as well, with which looks like it. I think it's tier 1. It looks like a kind of. It's the only one that still looks good in that terrible low res, because it looks like a kind of a stained glass window.
Oh,
with all the different effects. I'd love to see that done properly. Maybe the colours could like change around and shit as well.
Yeah, can we just remaster all like old cloth dresses?
But if I had
like,
to choose one,
yeah.
I'd choose the banana set.
Okay, that's fine. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm choosing too.
Because obviously it'd be great to remaster, but that's a job that never stops.
Yeah.
Because it used to be I could never wear anything like before Cataclysm, because it just seemed too low res for me, and I couldn't. With exceptions, like the cool spiky shield and shit, I just couldn't stand it. But now, like, it's kind of gone up to WOD.
Oh,
I can't really wear anything pre-WOD because it just doesn't
No.
fit with all like the cool new high-res stuff.
No, even
the high-res
like,
models
even
even.
like Pandaria has some really nice sets, but they're so flat. Like
Yeah.
they're really cool, but they're just a bit. Ugh.
Yeah, because when they redid the models as well, then,
Yeah.
in WOD, like suddenly that kind of threw all of the old sets out the door. Really, when your character is more high res than the set you're wearing, it's kind of hard, isn't it?
It's
But I'd
tricky.
love to see what they did with Banana Set.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that reimagined
Yeah.
in kind of in high res. That's what I'd like, please. Make it happen. Rasmus, look, we're only 2 months away now.
Hey, not bad.
Hello, it's great to see you talking a bit about your D&D characters and campaign. In your current home game, what are your classes and races? Oh, I think we've kind of done this, and you will be finding out about this.
Yes.
But since we've been talking about it a lot, in fact, have you got your sketch pad with you? Because you drew some excellent
It's
pictures.
not in here. It's upstairs.
No worries. We'll do a separate post where we keep you updated with the new drawings we've been doing. I know, okay, we've been playing this game for like 6 sessions, 7 sessions now.
Yeah.
But I still can't remember everyone's names. So I am. I've had to make like my character not remembering names part of his actual character.
Yeah, because
I'm so terrible at it.
So
But
bad.
my character is called Penrin. And he is a halfling bard with a tragic backstory.
Yes, well, that's the thing. We all have really exciting backstories that none of us really know.
And which have, like, as you'll see in the first episode
Yeah.
of the D&D show, because we don't want to give that away now,
No,
it's really
no,
cool, have all kind of completely been thrown into flux a little bit as
Yeah,
well, which is
yeah.
really interesting.
So I play Ciri, a high elf wizard. She's cool. She's really cool. She's kind of like, if I were a character, but a kind of a version of myself playing a character in D&D. That's what I'd want.
Okay, you're a moon elf as well, aren't you?
Yeah, it's debatable. The elf sub-races are kind of meh.
I thought you
So I just
decided
went
on
with
that.
high elf,
Okay.
straight up high elf.
Okay, cool.
But if I have to be, I'm a moon elf.
Yeah.
And then we have, so Penrin, Ciri, Rinwin, the gnome monk, who is adorable.
She's great. Our friend Alina plays her, and she plays her with like this broad Southern American accent for some reason.
No, it's just, when you say Southern American.
Oh, okay.
It's just like South.
Southern US.
She's Southern.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
has a
Okay,
drawl.
yeah. Not like Colombian.
No.
Yeah. Although that would be
That would
awesome.
be
If we can make
amazing.
that happen, that'd be great.
Oh my god, I think my next character might be like South American. And then Rain, the tiefling rogue. So the thing that Ciri, Rinwin, and Rain are all like basically teenagers. They're all like 18, of the equivalent of 18, although all of their races have technically different ages. And poor Penrin is like a grown...
As much as halflings.
Yeah,
grow.
as much as halflings grow, but he's like an adult dude.
He's in his 40s.
Yeah, he's kind of over all of us, to be honest.
He's just been there and seen it, and he's very distrusting of authority.
Yeah, he is.
To the extent where he's not even lawful good, really, because it's difficult. It's tricky. I don't want to give anything away to you,
no.
apart from anything else.
Yeah.
But his background is that he's kind of like a John Ball type figure. He kind of led a revolt which got squashed, and he's kind of like all for kind of personal justice, but doesn't he's very wary of the idea of organising anyone because he doesn't want to be responsible for them.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Ciri's a noble. She comes from a noble background.
Well, and he hates that ultimately.
And exactly. And I think I kind of Ciri rubs people the wrong way with her background sometimes, but she's trying really hard.
She's got a lovely ferret though, hasn't she?
Well, yes, her familiar is a weasel, but it's actually an ermine, so he's all white, and his name is Pym. So we have Penryn, Rinwin, and Pym.
Yeah.
Not planned. That was not planned. I don't know. That just happened.
And we're all like very non-human characters
Yes.
in a very human setting.
Yeah.
So everywhere we go, we just stick out like a sore thumb,
Yeah.
which is excellent and like really good fun. I really like it.
Yeah.
But looking forward to getting that show off the ground, and we've been working really hard to get some kind of like just a test animation done for the new year, and then get an episode out like in January. Hopefully, this is my plan.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, it'd be so good. Brian Miller, hello Brian. The video that made me sub was pretty early on when you played the Grizzly Hills music, where Evie played violin and Taliesin played a concertina. Have you considered playing music in a video again? People talk about that a lot.
Yeah, they do.
That little kind of...
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
I could do some greatest WoW hits on the violin.
Well, we've been talking about you actually doing the music for the new D&D show.
Sorry,
we're just talking about this D&D show a lot. It's just taking up a lot of our mind at the moment. Yeah.
So you could do a bit of a fiddly...
Yeah, because obviously most of the music we're going to
fiddly
use for that is just going to be like royalty-free fantasy-scape and things like that. But we thought it'd be really cool to have its own theme tune as well. In the same way that like the T&E have their own, like, you know, we have our own theme tune that we kind of made, which, you know, is the do that kind of thing. But obviously that wouldn't fit a D&D thing, so it'd be cool to have a violin-led thing. And melodeon is the other instrument, as opposed to a concertina. It's like a concertina is like a squeeze box with like the buttons like that, and accordion has, by the British terminology, because I know the American terminology just calls everything an accordion.
We don't care.
For us, an accordion, it has like a keyboard keys, like a piano keys set up on one side, and like up to about 140 something, I want to say, bass buttons on the other side that play different chords and stuff. Whereas a melodeon is only in one key and has all buttons. Instead of like piano keys, and only has mine only has 8 bass buttons. So cool. It's like a little bit more restricted, but also kind of has a more kind of a simple, pleasant sound for me. Yeah, I like it.
I take it.
So maybe we'll get that in the in the D&D theme tune as well. As for WoW stuff, why not? We could do like a concert of us playing WoW.
Why not?
themes.
I'd love to.
Especially some of the new stuff in BFA. It's like that would it'd be really cool. We could do like the Alliance Warfront music.
Yeah. So good.
Just doing it how I do it. Right, my auntie is going to be here any moment. So this next question, which is from only 1 month ago.
Oh, catching up.
Robert Ebby?
What is the funniest and or stupidest thing you've ever done in WoW?
Well, I was going to say we should leave this till next time.
Oh, I think that's a good one.
Because I need to
mull over this, because also I feel like this will lead to stories.
I thought you might have had an answer ready to go, which is why I let you go for that then. But no, I would suggest that we'd like to give a proper answer to that one anyway. It's quite likely that someone's going to walk through this door in like 5 minutes. So I think the best thing to do, sorry it wasn't a full hour like we often do, guys, but apart from anything, it's going to take about a day to upload onto the internet anyway from here. So hopefully this will get out on the same day that we're recording it, which is Christmas Eve, where you are. So hopefully it's like a nice kind of Merry Christmas to you sort of thing. Look, here's our, hang on, it's about to be a lot of motion, so if you get motion sick, just watch out. I want to show you our Christmas tree.
Oh.
Ding, ding, ding,
show them the fireplace. This is my favourite bit. Isn't that lovely?
There's a little Shakespeare with his little hat on there.
Yeah, gotta love him.
This is why we love being home. But we're going to leave it there. And we're going to wish you all a Merry Christmas. And we'll get another, because we might even catch up. If you've got any questions for the Q&A, by the way, please leave them on the original Q&A thread, which we will link again in this post. You can click there and you can leave a question, and we'll keep this Q&A going on forever because we've still got like a nice lot of questions left, but we are catching up now, which is really, really exciting.
There are a few other questions that were posted on some of the newer ones, so we'll have to go through.
We'll collect them up, but it'd be much easier if you put it on this one from now on. We'll definitely get to it that way. Brilliant.
Ooh, yeah.
Right, I hope this gets to you okay. I hope the sound was okay with your hair all over that microphone. I hope it wasn't scrapey too much. But from me, Taliesin.
And me, Everton.
Happy Winter Vale.
Merry Christmas.
And see you soon. Cheerio.